Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Today, this rundown is dedicated to everybody that came and said hello to me at EGLX in Toronto. I had an incredible time at the gaming exposition that Enthusiast Gaming put on. They were terrific hosts, and I got to hang out with 8-Bit Beans, and I had a blast. But the best thing about it was getting to see all of you fine people. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get started with our rundown. The hero of time might be venturing into the strange and unexplored world of television. It looks like a Legend of Zelda TV series from Nintendo and Netflix is getting closer to reality. Producer Adi Shankar, who oversees the animated Castlevania series, has announced that he's working on a new adaptation of another iconic video game series, and he's doing it with another big Japanese game company. Several outlets are reporting that this is the long-rumored animated Zelda series, which Netflix was first rumored to be working on back in 2015. Nintendo denied the rumors at the time, but since then, they've begun working with other Hollywood studios to adapt more and more of their valuable properties for film and television, and Zelda is easily one of their biggest. If it's the real deal, expect more details soon. Now, I have not seen the second season of Castlevania, which I think is just hitting Netflix, or just hit Netflix, but I loved the first season. I thought that Shankar and his team did a great job, so I am cautiously incredibly optimistic about the idea of a Zelda animated show made with that same pedigree and that same kind of commitment to the license and the property. There's a lot of lore to mine in a show around Zelda because Link has had so many different adventures and iterations and adaptations within Nintendo's own universes. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. Is it going to be a Breath of the Wild style show? Is it going to be around A Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time? It's going to be very cool to see what they do. Maybe they'll do like a multiple universes kind of thing, and Link is looking into some magic mirrors and sees all different kinds of... I don't know. I'm not making the show. I can't wait to watch it. The tiny PlayStation Classic is looking better and better, or is it? Sony has announced the full list of the 20 games that will be included on the tiny retro console. On top of already announced classics like Final Fantasy VII, Tekken 3, Wild Arms, and Ridge Racer Type 4, we now know that it will also include the original Grand Theft Auto, the first Metal Gear Solid, the PlayStation 1 version of Mr. Driller, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, Ubisoft's original Rainbow Six and Rayman game, Capcom's director's cut of the original Resident Evil, and, of course, Sony's own classic Twisted Metal. This means Sony is working with other publishers to bring mostly third-party games to the system, which sets it apart from Nintendo's retro consoles, which are mostly first-party games. The PlayStation Classic hits stores December 3rd and will cost $130 in Canada. Listen, I'm as entertained by the idea of hooking up a PlayStation 1 and playing all these games through HDMI. The problem for me is that I have all of those games. I have them on disc, and I have a PlayStation 3 that will play all of those games if I want to. Now, I know I'll be burning the motor on that PlayStation 3 if I do start playing those games. And there's, a likelihood that I have hardware that will stop being able to access those games. But I have them sitting right there. So it's a little bit more difficult for me to get super enthused about all of that. But, I'm a nostalgic buff just like you guys, and I'm a collector just like you guys. So, I'm going to be curious to check this out for sure, but it isn't that same like, oh my God, I've got to drop everything and get this right away that I had with the NES Mini and the SNES Mini. But I definitely want to hear what you guys think. Are you super stoked for the PlayStation Retro, or are you more sort of leaning in the Nintendo because you love the old carts and the old, NES and SNES days? So let me know in the comments below. All right, nothing says the Old West more than cowboys, horses, revolvers, and virtual reality headsets. Red Dead Redemption 2 might be coming to VR. That's according to the official companion app for the game, which the fan site Rockstar Intel has discovered contains several references to the Oculus Rift, as well as references to the long-rumored PC version. This seems to suggest that a VR version is on the way. Red Dead Redemption does include a first-person mode, which seems like it would work well in VR. Whatever they do, the game is already a hit. Rockstar says it earned $725 million worldwide in its first week, making it not only the biggest launch week for a game, but the biggest for any entertainment property ever. And that is the sentence to underline right there, and the thing for everyone to realize about the cultural significance of Rockstar's titles and Red Dead Redemption and video games of this magnitude. I was in Toronto last week shooting for Recon, which I'll talk to you guys about in a little bit, but I was listening to the news to, sort of wake up and get ready every day. nobody was talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, I mostly listened to the CBC, but because no commercials, but nobody was talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. Not on launch day, nothing. Nobody had anybody phone in or chat about its significance, and I just think that's unbelievable. What a tremendous amount of, overlooking a very huge story that's out there in multiple ways. Don't get me wrong, there's some controversy around this game as well, but it's and I've been dabbling. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about Red Dead Redemption 2 in this show, but yeah, it's massive, it's significant, it's important, and it should be discussed not just in our circles, not just in the groups that know a lot about video games, but when you throw numbers like $725 million in a week, everybody should be paying attention to that. Everybody that understands art or commerce should be paying attention to that, and I think that means everybody on Earth, every human, pretty much, because we all dig art, we all dig a little bit of money, I think. Okay, all right, you don't have to wait for the new Aquaman movie to start exploring the oceans. Hello Games has released the latest update for their space exploration game called The Abyss. It improves the underwater gameplay, giving you the ability to build underwater bases and pilot underwater craft. It also has new story content based around underwater settings, which has a dark and creepy tone just in time for Halloween. The Abyss is available now as a free update on all platforms, and every time we do a story about new content in No Man's Sky, I want to jump back in, but I don't have the time right now. I'm playing as a cowboy in Red Dead Redemption 2, but this is super cool. It's definitely, super compelling and intriguing. I want to jump back into this, and I also want to jump into the pirate game, too, from Rare. What the hell was that called? I've already forgotten. Sea of Thieves. I want to jump into that as well. These persistent, ever-present universes that are on all the time, and you can go back into those worlds and explore everything. I get the reason why people get compelled and stay with them, but it's tough for someone that's like trying to stay on top of everything to stay with all of these crazy, huge updates that these companies do. But good on you, Hello Games. It's awesome that it's free. I know No Man's Sky fans are going to be very appreciative of that. That's going to do it for our rundown today. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's move on to this day in everything cool. Welcome to This Day and Everything Cool for October 30th. On this day in 2007, one of the biggest action RPG franchises in the world was born. CD Projekt Red released the original Witcher game on the PC, thrusting players into the vast open world filled with magic and monsters. Based on the book series by Polish fantasy author Andrzej Sapkowski, The Witcher lets players take control of franchise hero Geralt of Rivia, a Witcher who uses superhuman abilities to fight even more powerful supernatural foes. CD Projekt Red was founded years earlier and had specialized in localizing big Western RPGs like Baldur's Gate, but with The Witcher, they wanted to create their own game franchise. Basing it on the books was a risky move because although they were popular in Eastern Europe, the stories weren't well known in the West, so the game had to win over players from scratch. The developers decided to put a strong emphasis on player choice. Every decision you make can have a lasting impact on the story, although some of the effects aren't apparent until much later in your journey. This worked well with the game's story. Like the books, the game has a complicated take on morality with often blurry lines between right and wrong, so it made sense to give players the ability to make their own decisions. The game was a smash hit with critics and PC gamers, but despite the success, The Witcher is the only game in the series to never be released on consoles. CD Projekt Red had been working on a PS3 and Xbox 360 version called The Witcher Rise of the White Wolf, but it was canceled and never officially released. That didn't stop them from making a sequel. The Witcher 2 followed in 2011, and this time it was released on consoles, landing on the Xbox 360 in 2012. So I had an incredible week last week, and I thought I would use a little bit of this time to chat a little bit about that and say thank you to some fantastic folks. Before I do that, though, I don't know if I can get the... Oh, here we go. Not now. Boom. I want to show you guys one of the things that I was doing out in Toronto, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, and I don't know if the audio is going to come through okay, but I did a little teaser for a new show that I'm working on, and there's some comments and stuff already on here. That's hilarious. Pause it and go to the start of the video. Oh, okay, cool. There you go. Is there audio, Blake?
Yeah, but pause it before you start.
Okay, there we go. They make it like they want to jump right into the video on this thing. Oh, there we go. And I want to go full screen, don't I? How's that? There you go. Is that okay? All right. So we're doing a lot of stuff on the fly. It's live, right? It's EP Live. Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. But I had an incredible week last week. We did a lot of production, and I was super busy. But then I went to EGLX. But the thing that I was working on is I was working on a new show called Recon, and I wanted to just show you guys the trailer right now. So let's take a quick look at this, and then I can tell you guys a little bit more about it. This is where we're at. Hopefully it looks and sounds okay. Everywhere you look, people yelling about games, people angry about games, people streaming games. Look at how much money games make. Look at how the studios are struggling. All the love, all the hype, all the expectation, all the controversy, all that superficial nonsense. Stop. Think for a second. Games are art. All respect to the late and great Mr. Ebert, but games are art. They come from somewhere deep inside of a collective imagination. And when they began, they were magic. And now games are alive. And we know that they are not magic. They are a fusion of science and risk. Games can be transportive. They can be inspiring. And they are almost always frustrating. It's almost as if games are human. Because they are. Games are made by humans. Large groups of them. Small groups. Sometimes only one. And you know what? We're forgetting how to talk about that. Games are not just a collection of features. They're an expression made through collaboration between the team that makes the game and ultimately you, the player. For 25 years, I've understood and have created content that reflects the principle that people are more interesting than the products that they make. And now, working with Escapist magazine, I'm proud to be part of a new show that travels to game studios all over the world to explore the very human act of creating the art that we call video games. Welcome to Recon. Okay, we are back. Okay, cool. Am I full screen again? Okay, so it's called Recon, and it was done in partnership with Escapist, and so there's been some comments and questions about what the show is going to mean for Electric Playground and EPN and EP Live and all the stuff that we do. It's not really going to impact it all that much because we're not editing it. It's not a new show that we're producing. It's a show that the Escapist is really packaging. What I'm doing while I work with them is give them ideas and suggestions. I'm working mostly with the editor-in-chief, Russ Pitts, and we both kind of had parallel streams with our work. He was at Polygon and did a lot of video stuff over there with them, was involved in the early days with Tech TV. So he's been in video in this space for a long time. And he knows that I've been hosting content and producing content in this space for a long time. And we just both wanted to do this kind of travelogue show. So what this means is that it kind of is an extension on what we do with EP, which is talk to developers all the time and dig into their life a little bit and what drives them. You know, I'm passionate about that, right? You know, I know a ton of people in the industry, but I love the creativity and the fire that people have to build cool things for us. I'm inspired by that, and I believe that it's important to comment on that and profile that and discuss that and examine that. And I also feel like I've got a little bit of a responsibility as somebody that has had this opportunity to be in this space for so long to dive into that a bit, because I legitimately feel that not enough people do that. We always just sort of obsess about the features in games or the things that make us angry about games or happy about games. So Recon will be about the people, and EP will have that too, but we'll also give you guys a lot of news and information and interviews. And so I will travel a bit for Recon. We've got a 10-episode season planned to kind of launch the show. And we've already shot enough for a couple of episodes. So I will be on the road, but it will also impact and help EP content in some really cool ways as well. And just, provide us with some interesting, cool new opportunities that way. But yes, it's meant to be running in parallel with what we're doing with EP. And we don't edit it here. We don't shoot it here. It's a team assembled for me, and I just go and I visit with developers and studios and stuff. So I really hope you all watch it and support it, and know that it means good things for EP, because it's going to mean a whole bunch of new eyeballs that are watching the show and watching me and getting to know who I am and my style. And so I hope you're as excited about it as I am. And more coming. that's just the first little teaser. We've got a long road here to kind of assemble these episodes and shoot some more. But the other amazing thing that happened at EGLX, and I really had no idea what to prepare for. I thought it was going to be a show kind of really more engineered for esports folks and sort of the younger crowd out there that was just obsessing about the pros and the athlete. And there was definitely a huge amount of that there. I did a Smash Brothers tournament with some awesome Smash Brothers players, and they carried all of us media people and YouTubers. And I came in second place, which was pretty rad. And I was actually starting to kind of see, I was playing against Mistake in the last round, and he was just bashing my Kirby all over the place. But I was finally able to understand some nuance and some really cool stuff in that. But that was super fun. But I got to meet all kinds of great people, and I wanted to show a few of those folks off the top here. Howard said some very nice things, he and his buddy there. I got a lot of like, man, I grew up with you. I can't believe you're here, and I've been watching EP forever. And I was unabashedly wearing my EPN hoodie for much of the conference, so I kind of stood out, you know. So people definitely did say, "Oh my God, there's Victor." But Howard had some nice things to say. I just got this round of picks from Lucas Sutcliffe this morning, where he's playing music, and he said he's working on some EPN music, Play Forever type music or something, which is amazing. Thank you to Howard. Thank you to Lucas Sutcliffe. And somebody took a picture of me playing Smash Brothers. There's my game face right there. That is when I was losing. I was losing badly. But then I started to understand how to play as Kirby, and I started to win a little bit, which was cool. I actually got some points. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Julio Rivera, super, super nice guy. Bought a shirt, was super excited to meet me, and I was super excited to meet him. And I was telling everybody to please take a picture and send it to me, and we'll share the love a little bit. But incredibly rad, super nice gentleman. Jason Relaxation, I bought 2 Super Nintendo cartridges off of this man. I bought Aladdin and I bought a Mickey Mouse game, which I'm going to play with my daughter Ruby, and he cut me a break, which was very sweet. You didn't have to do that. Thank you, sir. And he was excited that I was there, got me to sign a shirt for him, too. I went to the vendor room where they had a game swap, and people were able to buy classic and retro games and stuff, and I was just shopping. I was trying to be chill and low-key and, not like, running, screaming, watch EP. I should do that, though. What do you think people would do if I just ran into rooms? You gotta watch EP. I don't know how that would go over, but he was great, and I did get a few of like, oh my God, or holy shit, what are you doing? And it's really weird. It's also really weird to hear your full name back at you quite a bit. Oh, Victor Lucas. It's strange. It was strange, but very flattering, and it was a thrill to go in there and look at all these classic games. Overwhelmed by the collector scene in that space. I can't believe how much some of those cartridges go for. It's unbelievable. This young lady, I don't know who she is, but she was super smiley and nice. Kind of knew all about the EPN show already, which was kind of cool, the EPN format a little bit. Definitely was excited to wear a shirt, which was great. Had a great smile, so I said, sure, I'll take a picture with you. Okay, if you really want me to. No, it was amazing to see Marissa. Marissa actually hung out with me quite a bit at the 8-Bit Beans booth, and I just love that because that blew some people's minds as they were walking by because they saw us together again. And we got lots of photos together, which was great. And God, she's just an awesome person. Just a lovely human being. I love hanging out with her. We had Tom, like this picture, he barely squeaked in his head in there. This is in the vendor room as well, which was awesome. But he was excited to say hello, which was cool. I got a lot more pics on this too, and I'll work through them as we dive in. And more people bought shirts and are sending pics and stuff. This was a nice comment. Looking better leaving EGLX 2018 than when I arrived. You know what? I got to say, the shirts are damn sharp. I had 3 friends of Brad Maven, who runs 8-Bit Beans, were working the booth with me, and they all had the EPN shirt on. And so it was like, and of course I was like a foot shorter than all of them. So it looked like I had a bunch of EPN bodyguards. It was crazy, but everybody had the brand everywhere. and it looks sharp, man. I had a lot of people just looking at the T-shirts. I feel like I'm selling them to you. This is not the home shopping channel, but I had people looking at the T-shirts on the table. They had no idea who I was or what the show was, but they're like, "These are cool. How much are these? I like this logo." A lot of people wanted them for free, and I had to explain that I can't just give them away. We're not in that position right now. Had to pay for them, so I got to sell them. But it was very sweet. EGLX was awesome. And I did hang out at 8-Bit Beans, and this time I remembered to grab a bag of the coffee, the Espresso Playground. They switched the bags, apparently, so they're much bigger and more prominent. And the coffee is doing very well on Amazon, Brad was saying. And a lot of people were able to taste it, and a lot of people were picking it up. And it was really cool. Coffee tastes great. We're working on some other flavors and some other stuff. And stay tuned, Canadians, because I think we're going to have some merch options that are a little bit lighter on the shipping costs in our country pretty soon. I'm working on it. All right, still working. Haven't forgotten that. And then 8-Bit Beans also made the mugs for the show, which had the Enthusiast EGLX logo as well as the 8-Bit Beans logo. Super rad. I didn't get a chance to go to the cafe that they have in Cordis, Ontario. But Brad has got Deadly Grounds coffee, and they're making an 8-Bit Beans space as well. And I didn't get a chance because there were 3 cons that 8-Bit Beans and Deadly Grounds were at. They were at EGLX and one in London and one somewhere else. So they were running like crazy. But I know they had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. And to all of you that came and said hello, and all of you that were shocked that, I'm still doing what I'm doing and you were very happy and took pictures or bought shirts or whatever, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, you guys, we're going to get going here now with a brand new buried treasure for you. In the late 1990s, a company called Luxo Flux was hired by Activision to make a vehicle combat game called Vigilante 8, and it came out for the PlayStation and 64. There was a sequel that came out for the Dreamcast, and the Vigilante 8 games were actually kind of cool. Obviously, they were taking a cue from the success of the Twisted Metal franchise, but they were super fun in their own right. They had lots of different crazy characters led by a guy in a big truck named Convoy, which I think was an homage to that old Convoy movie, and it was set in the 70s, just like the spiritual precursor to Vigilante 8 was in Interstate 76. And it was, well-refined vehicle combat gameplay. Obviously, it's going to look very rudimentary right now with lots of triangular polygonal shapes and stuff, but at the time it was pretty damn cool, and it was a great competitor to the Twisted Metal franchise. Gave you something a little bit different, It wasn't necessarily quite as dark and evil and sort of slightly futuristic as the Twisted Metal stuff was. The retro kind of vibe of the design was welcome, and I also liked the sense of humor that the game had, and it was just a sweet playing title. Luxo Flux was a good developer. They actually worked on Star Wars Demolition, which kind of played with the same kind of game design concepts, but with Star Wars vehicles. Weren't as successful with that, but definitely Vigilante 8 and its sequel were 2 terrific games that I think are very worthy. Even though they made a sequel, and even though there are lots of fans out there, I still think they fly under the radar quite a bit, especially when you compare them to the much bigger success that Twisted Metal has had. But I think Vigilante 8 is absolutely a buried treasure. Yeah, Buried Treasure brings back some things we have all forgotten about, doesn't it? What a great segment. I love doing Buried Treasure, and when I saw all those cartridges at the vendor room at EGLX, I was like, yeah, the Buried Treasure is never going to stop. That will be a very easy segment to keep making for sure. Listen, I want to let you guys know, all of the people that are watching live, and remember, EP Live actually is live, and we do this as often as we can. Sometimes we're out on shoots. Like yesterday, we had a busy shoot working on secret stuff that we can't talk about, but it was a very exciting and busy day for us, so we couldn't even get back to do the rundown. But apart from those crazy days, or when we're on the road somewhere, next week we're going to be at an event in LA. But we try to do EP Live as often as possible. So if you can join us, follow our Twitters. I was going to say our tweets. Follow our tweets and follow our Facebook pages and stuff. We usually make the announcement that we're going, but generally we're doing EP Lives at around 1 p.m. PST and 4 p.m. EST. And if you can join us, it's a lot of fun. The people in the chat are fantastic. Tyler Fisher is great. His comment right now is, "Wait, Vic is still doing this?" It's one of those guys excited to find out that I'm still doing the content, still talking about games and movies and TV shows and technology, all kinds of fun stuff. Because why would I ever stop? And VR Grid, I will never stop because I love it. I love doing this. It's a real honor. But if you do go to our Facebook page and hit that like button and support EP there, thank you. But we've got a contest, and I want you all to know that. It's the chance to win one of 3 copies of Ant-Man and the Wasp on Blu-ray, thanks to our friends at Marvel. And it's only available in Canada. I'm sorry to all the folks out in Quebec. They have different rules with contests out there, so we just have to work with the partners. And in this case, Disney doesn't and Marvel don't want to do a Quebec portion of that because it's a whole bunch of other things to deal with. So I hope you understand. But it's open to all the other provinces of Canada. And so please enter. And what you have to do on our Facebook page is tell us what you would do with the ability to shrink. Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, you guys, I don't have a review for you of Red Dead Redemption 2 yet, because I'm still playing it. And it's been a little bit of a difficult game to jump right into with a modicum of jet lag and a crazy busy schedule to race back. I wasn't here last week to kind of, be here for the launch. Thank you, EGLX. Good planning on that. No, I know they had nothing to do with timing it out with Red Dead Redemption. But anyways, I got back. I've been trying to put some toothpicks on my eyes to stay awake and enjoy this game and sort of bathe in its luxury and its gorgeous, sumptuous, incredible, see forever visuals. We got the PlayStation 4 code to review it. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a comparison in visuals once I get deeper into the game. But I've heard that the Xbox One X version is the one to go for. I have an OLED TV, and I've got the Xbox One X, and I said, okay, I've got to get this version. So I bought that while I was in Toronto, and that's when I've started. And I have been playing it, and it is absolutely stunning. It's mostly the vistas. When I see the video game elements of Red Dead Redemption, it's in, some of the facial details and some of the it's good motion capture and stuff, but the humans, because of the scale of the game, obviously, it isn't like the, it's not Kratos and Spider-Man. Actually, Spider-Man, that's funny. I bring up like Spider-Man's open world as well, but Spider-Man suffers from some of its resolution and details in some of the supporting characters in a similar way that Red Dead does as well, because there's so much to render and so much to kind of show off. But Red Dead goes on for much, much more real estate and landscape than a game even like Spider-Man does. So I guess I think aesthetically, I think the modeling and the facial designs and the human elements of the characters that are brought forward in video games, I think are probably a little more refined in a game like God of War, which isn't fully open world. You can't go everywhere, so it's a little bit more controlled that way. What is amazing about Red Dead Redemption 2 is that you have fidelity like this, and the scale is so incredibly huge. Now, as I've been playing the game, of course, I'm still in the early stages. I'm into like mid part of chapter 2 or something like that. So I'm really early, but it takes a long time to get anywhere in the game. It's doled out slowly to kind of educate you on the mechanics and the different things that you can do. But it's a little slower, right down to the context of like opening up cupboards and searching for things and putting something in your bag, and it's like, okay, I would have just gone and just ran, like it really is. There's a methodical kind of quality for you to kind of ooh and ah over the lavishness of everything, but it's almost like it's like telling you to slow down, man, just relax, just chill. And when I've coupled that with my genuine fatigue after traveling and working and meeting with everybody and flying, and it's been a little tricky. It's been hard to kind of just like, okay, I'm in this. I'm totally awake for all of them. It's been a little bit like that. I did do a train robbery, which was incredibly thrilling and cool, leaping onto a train and shooting at all kinds of officers and people trying to protect some precious material. I thought that was cool. The gunfights are kind of fun. I like the being able to use the Deadeye mode and target a bunch of different spots on a person and take them out that way. Super cinematic, super transportive. You absolutely feel like you're going to an era. I also like the quality of the light with the HDR lighting on the Xbox One X on the 4K screen that I've been playing it on too, because it just feels like there are particles flying everywhere. It feels like you can feel the dust as you're walking through this dusty environment, which is amazing, or a snowy environment. And I think it's really fascinating that they start Red Dead Redemption 2 in sort of a blizzard, in a like a whiteout almost, and you can't see the details. You don't know what the hell is going on. You can see the particles and the snow and the depth of the this whiteout in some really cool subtle ways. It feels like a much more refined snowstorm than we're usually associating with video games, but it doesn't feel, you don't get the sense of like vista and wonder that you get a little bit later on when the snow finally starts to dissipate and the weather starts turning nicer and you actually get warm and the pop-up says you need to change your clothes because you're getting hot. Lots of details like that, lots of details with the way that you can communicate with pretty much everybody in the game. Pick up lots of objects. It feels a little bit more in line with something like Skyrim or Fallout, like you can basically go into an environment and just almost touch everything, which is fantastic. I mean, there's so much stuff that's rendered and manipulable and you can connect with, whether it's NPCs or objects or things that you have to pick up, dynamite that you have to set or photographs that you got to look at, gunfights that you got to get into. It is really, really gorgeous. And that's about what I know so far. I find the controls not, coming off of a game like Spider-Man, which is buttery, fluid, and smooth, and you can have a few frustrations with that game too, but I don't know. This feels like you can do a ton of things in Red Dead Redemption 2, but it does slow you down, and it does feel like sometimes you're in some sort of clunky animation transitions. You have to take into account, though, the size of this experience and the scale of this experience. There has to be some forgiveness there. I think, one of the games that I keep connecting it to or contrasting it with is Zelda Breath of the Wild, and its kind of freeform, physics-based and emergent type of gameplay. And I think there's some of that coming in this game for me, but so far it's been very hand-holdy, and it's been very much about training me how to do these things as quickly as possible so that they can ratchet up the action. And I'm cool with that. I've been enjoying it. I will say also, there's so much dialogue and so much exposition and so much narrative and storytelling, and there are a lot of characters. It's not like you're just playing John Marston and he's encountering a few people and maybe they'll ride together with like one or two people with him for a bit. You've got a lot of supporting characters, and there are big chunks at the beginning of this. It's only into chapter 2 where I'm starting to know who Arthur Morgan is and what his actual voice is. Half of the first chapter, I was like, who's talking? Who's this guy? Who's that? Who? I don't know who this guy. I'm riding with all these people. I don't know who's who. I don't know them. And Arthur Morgan so far does not have the personality that John Marston has, and we see Marston pretty early on in the game, and it's like I want to be him. Like he's cool. I know that voice. That voice is awesome. I want to stay with that guy. But you're not. You're this whole other guy. So I have not quite been enamored by Arthur Morgan yet. I mean, I like the character model and the bright blue coat that he wears, and he looks badass. It looks cool. But I don't know. I want to. Clearly, I have to dive further into this adventure. But I am enjoying myself, and it is absolutely a Westworld-like escape, and there's a reason why the whole world is buying this game and excited for this game, and Rockstar is able to churn up the fervor for something like this. You can also feel long weeks of development emanating from this product as well. And let's hope that Rockstar is being truthful, that they weren't referencing everybody having to work 100-hour work weeks, and Dan Houser was letting his enthusiasm get the better of him, and he was, perhaps not speaking as elegantly as he should have about some of their labor practices. A funny story, though. Side note: I met a former Rockstar employee at EGLX, and he said to me that he would think it was highly unlikely that everybody was working 100-hour work weeks. He's got lots of friends that still work at Rockstar, a lot of happy friends that are working at Rockstar. Some of them worked on this game at Rockstar Toronto, and he made me feel better about all of that. He definitely made me see that, yeah, perhaps it's all been a little bit overblown, but also understandably so, because if we can all remember, Red Dead Redemption 1 is when we had the Rockstar spouse come out, and the EA spouse wasn't much further, apart from that. It was maybe around the same time. But there was a tremendous amount of controversy about overworking and unpaid overtime, and people missing all kinds of real events in their lives to create games of this scale. So hopefully that bleak picture that Hauser painted in an offhand remark isn't as black and white as it appeared in black and white. All I can tell you is I am immensely impressed by what I've seen so far. Spider-Man was more fun for me, though. Ooh, the plot thickens. So who knows? I don't know what the game of the year is going to be in our Rocket and Ray Guns. And yes, I've started planning for some of that. But yeah, I have no score for you for Red Dead Redemption 2. You probably own it, or you're camped out in a place that somebody else is playing it, and you're playing it with them. But it's a lot of fun, and it's very big, and it's very cool. I'll have more on Red Dead Redemption 2 very soon. But right now, let's take a look at a review of something completely different. My friend Jonathan McFowle recommended that I watch a documentary called Won't You Be My Neighbor, which is, of course, all about Mr. Rogers and his famous television show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And I said, yeah, I want to watch that. I've seen lots of great trailers for this thing, and it looks like it's going to be a nice deep dive into the story of this phenomenal human being that influenced generations of kids out there. And that's exactly what this documentary is. It really gives you a sense of this person's motivation and this person's drive. Fred Rogers was a man that was convicted to his faith. He was actually ordained as a minister, but he really believed in the power of television. And he decided when he was a very young man that he was just going to go out and try to create television programming, unlike anything that he was seeing start to come into fruition. And he was really concerned about the way that television was being crafted for children, how it was all about, slapstick comedy and people throwing pies in each other's faces and lots of military commercials and things like that, and just a lot of noise and violence and sensationalism. And he wanted to slow it all right down and have some conversations with kids that were about something, and also made a show that was not afraid to kind of have moments of silence and moments of reflection, and also to explore some very, very dark things that were happening as the show was in production. For example, the assassination of Bobby Kennedy or the Vietnam War. And what you recognize when you see a documentary that's so expertly crafted like this one is that this man was not only a genius because of the television content that he could make, the voice, this unique voice that he crafted for himself, the worthiness that he manifested to be this public figure out there, but just how meaningful those messages resonate across time. And he's gone, and they don't make anything quite like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood anymore, but there's still this ripple effect. For me, it was very emotional, because we live in troubling times. We live in a world that is fraught with lots of tension and lots of divisiveness and lots of anger and bitterness, but we are absent the sanity of the messaging that was a part of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, It makes you melancholy when you watch this. It makes you kind of recognize how much we need positive influences in our media, how much we need to kind of watch programming, how much our children need to watch programming where two sides can come together and have a civilized conversation. One of the prime examples of this documentary is how he tackled racism in America head on by having, a black character on the show. In the time that the show was getting made, there were blacks being kicked out of swimming pools in America. So in the show, he invites a black mailman to come in and cool off, and they share a kiddie pool and they share a towel, and it's just absolutely amazing to watch and beautiful to watch. And so I watched this thing completely overcome with emotion and completely, aware of how valuable and permanent and necessary messages like this are. I certainly reflect on the power of the content that my child watches, and how desperately I want to make sure that she watches stuff that imbues her with positive thoughts and contemplative moments and an awareness of the world like Mr. Rogers was able to do. And I think what we get when we watch this whole thing is a guy that reflected upon his determination and his craft and what he was here for his whole life. You see a little bit of the depression kind of sink in his life when he's not able to do the show anymore, when times have changed, or when he's felt like he's done enough episodes. And also, the challenges facing anybody in television and in public television. But he overcame all of that, and he was just a positive force. And this is a loving testament to this man and to his message and to the people that worked with him and crafted material with him. And there's levity and there's humor and there's joy and there's a tremendous amount of sadness, but more than anything it's just powerful. And I was so glad that Jonathan recommended that I watch this. I was going to anyway, but it just happened that the timing was right, and I did watch this. And I freaking loved it. And I think you should watch this with as many family members as you can pull together. I'm going to give Won't You Be My Neighbor a 9.5 out of 10. Rest in peace, Mr. Rogers. God, that documentary is incredible. I definitely encourage all of you to watch it, especially if you have kids or have ever known a kid or ever were a kid. Okay? All right, it's very important to talk about some pure things in life like he was able to do. We have a cursor on the screen, so we're going to take that. We're going to go right from this kind of beatific, important education that Fred Rogers was providing to everybody to the pits of hell with Diablo 3. It's out on the Switch. This is the Eternal Collection. Well, it's not quite out. It comes out next week, but this is or this week on Friday, I believe. The Eternal Collection, and Blizzard sent me a code. And we said, well, let's stream it a little bit today. We'll have a review soon for you. One of the cool things, obviously, is the multiplayer aspect of it. So I'm going to do my best to play a little bit of multiplayer and talk to you guys about that aspect of the game as well. But let's just jump in. I'm just in the story, and now this is the Eternal Collection that has all kinds of extra content, all of the DLC, all of the extra packs. We're not into that space yet. We're also not into the Seasons mode or the perpetual modes. You can just jump in and do all your hack/loot type stuff that you want to do. There's seasons that you can play. This game's been around for a long time. We kind of know what we're getting into, but it runs really well on the Switch. I've already played a little chunk on the plane, so I played it off of I played it in portable mode. Looked great. Played it on a big TV that I had in the hotel. Looked awesome. So let's jump in right now, and let's take a look at Diablo 3 running on the Nintendo Switch. And Blake's going to come up and join me and go ahead. It's Let's Play in chat, so ask away, comment away if you've got any thoughts on anything that we talked about in the show or any other things going on. Just let us know. We're here for you, man. Okay. So I am back in Tristram, and I think I found Deckard Cain. Yes, I did. And so now we're on to the next thing. Uncle, you're alive. Oh, I'm going to put my headphones in so I can hear some of this. Great voiceover in this game. Love it.
Not much, I'm afraid, though the prophecy of the end days.
Can you hear the Deckard's talking to me? Oh, okay. I can't kill anything right now. Okay, so I'm going on to my next mission right now.
Was once he lost both of his sons.
A sad tale.
A sad tale. I chose to be a just for fun because I played and talked about Weapon Lord recently. I wanted to be a barbarian, so
Hi, everyone.
I'm a huge barbarian. Hi, Blake. Speaking of barbarians.
But what are you in the game, Vic?
Nice. Okay, so talk to the blacksmith at Hadrig Imon.
So the audio sounds good now, but when it starts getting loud, let me know if it's too loud.
Okay. So I'm going to go over and talk to this dude.
And Blizzard sent us 3 different codes for this.
They sent us a few, yeah. So I want to connect with you and with a couple of other friends, and let's play it together, and we can talk about it.
That's my wife. It is regrettable.
Thank you. Follow me.
I'm looking forward to playing this game in voice chatting.
Yeah, I can't. I'd like to be able to stream right from the console.
Nintendo, what are you doing? Come on now.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
what up?
So we got to clear the damned. I think there's some witches at the end of this. I've played through this.
Still recharging.
I've played through this game so many times, but on different platforms.
Okay, it's getting loud. Let me know if it's too loud, people.
And it's so good. Yeah, there's lots of screaming and dying.
I need fury.
Yeah, I never really got into the Diablo games.
You're crazy. They're so cool.
Yeah, it's just I was never a PC gamer,
Yeah.
and I know they're on consoles.
Not enough fury.
Well, you know, it's very straightforward game play, but you get a really cool story and great art design, and then, you know, the collectability aspects of it, and constantly outfitting your character with new weaponry. And then we can't discount the cooperative play.
You know what? You know what the problem was? Part of the reason I had friends who played this in high school.
Yeah.
Diablo 2 in high school.
Yeah.
And I would watch them play, and it seemed so
Not enough
complicated.
fury.
Right.
And, like I know it's not as complicated as other
No.
games,
and
but
that's,
just looking at like the menus and stuff, I thought, that's like, I don't know if I want to learn that. Same with Warcraft. Like that's why I never got into the Warcraft games or StarCraft.
well, you should, because they're great. You should venture in willingly and have some fun.
No, I know. I've played them. It's just I've never been a big, you know, player of them.
Well, Diablo and the overhead top-down kind of action RPG thing on console has been great, though. It's a good fit.
Did you ever review Victor Graham?
I
No,
didn't.
we played it, right?
I played it. We streamed a little bit, and I told the folks that sent it that I would have a review, and I think I'm still working on that. You know, it's just been it's been a lot of games.
Taking a backseat to Red Dead. No, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember we played that, and it looked exactly like Diablo.
Well, it's not quite the polish, not quite the finesse.
exactly like it was totally aping the art style.
Well, it's copying the concept, but you know, there's been a lot of overhead top-down RPGs
My
like this.
name is Hedrig Amon.
Okay, so I'll talk to this guy. Hedrig.
Your aid.
I can help you.
There we go. Completed. I'm level 7 now.
The rumor is that we're gonna get. Is it a new Diablo or a new StarCraft announced at BlizzCon this weekend?
This weekend. It is time for either one of those two. I think a
Yeah, I
new
think-
Diablo.
StarCraft 2 came out before Diablo 3, right?
Yes.
So I think we're probably overdue for StarCraft, but I don't think we'll be. We haven't heard anything about StarCraft 3, so it seems unlikely to me that
Not enough fury.
we'll get a StarCraft 3 announcement.
It would really undercut the sales of this game, though, if they announced the new Diablo.
Yeah.
Like, people would be, oh, I'll just wait for Diablo 4.
Have they announced StarCraft 1 remastered? They have, right?
Yeah, that's coming.
So maybe they'll announce
out.
remastered versions of Diablo 1 and 2, or
Right.
remastered Warcraft 1, 2, and 3.
That's you know, that's like a 6 on the excitement scale.
What about
I'm surprised those games aren't on iPad. I'm surprised that, like, today was the Apple iPad Pro announcement.
Well, they could announce a remastered version of those for the iPad and other modern systems.
Yeah.
Right? The Switch.
This would have been the time to do that.
Well, BlizzCon's this weekend, so they're definitely going to announce something.
Yeah, but today was the Apple II launch, and if they said here's a
Nah,
Warcraft 3 or something like that for iPad,
no, they're saving it for
that'd be cool.
What about a Warcraft 4?
That'd be
Not a
great.
new game.
We haven't had
It's
a
not World of Warcraft.
I know, an RTS experience. We haven't had one of those in a
Not
long
enough
time.
fury.
It's like Total War and Company of Heroes and Dawn of War.
Abby Jamison said the same thing right when I said it. I'd love to have a new Warcraft RTS.
She'd like to have a new Warcraft
Yeah,
RTS. Yeah,
I
totally.
must wait
Wasn't
longer.
Warcraft was turn-based or real
No,
time?
real time.
Oh. For some reason, I'm thinking they were turn-based.
You really don't play those games.
Well, I was never a big PC guy. I played like Doom on the PC.
They transcend the console. They're so good.
No, I know.
You know.
And I'm not a big fantasy guy either. Like Warcraft,
Right.
that kind of thing has never appealed to me. Like I don't like Lord of the Rings for the same reason.
Okay.
Nintendo Boy 17 has a comment.
Yeah.
I asked. He asked what?
I
Whoa.
must wait longer.
No, Nintendo. I don't know.
getting
It's a
crazy.
reference to.
I think I got
Okay,
it.
here I found it. Question: Diablo 3 reminds me was. Oh no, fuck. We already
put
asked that
this-
question. Sorry, I'm screwing up the comment reading here.
Okay.
Okay, Taz, comment. StarCraft Remastered is already on battle.net.
Okay.
Yeah, so what about Diablo 1 and 2 Remastered? That's what I'm wondering.
Okay. Oh, nice. All right, I'm much more powerful now. This is half the game, right? This is changing your stuff.
We have a good question here from Bradley Groot.
Okay.
Question: with recreational cannabis now being legal in Canada, anyway,
Yeah.
and Honduras,
Yeah, we've got some right here. Yeah.
What are the best games to play while high?
Oh man.
The best game to play while anything is Half-Life 2.
Tempest 2000 or Tempest, what is it, 4000 now?
No, because that'll mess you up if you play that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm pretty sure I did do that.
That's more like an acid trip game.
No. I think an acid that could cause.
You know what? Because Half-Life 2 is obviously the answer to everything. It's good. It's the best game in every, no matter what. But I think a good game to play while high on marijuana would probably be like a weird JRPG.
How about Mirror's Edge, and then you go to the hospital with anxiety?
What was that game? That sweary game where you're
Swervy or Sweary?
Sweary. What was that game where it's like Twin Peaks?
D
Deadly
or something?
Premonition.
Yeah, Deadly Premonition.
One of those weird Japanese games.
I think, but it's too much reading and thinking.
No, but not the ones with a lot of reading, but like the more the
I think Mirror's Edge.
like or like a platinum game because they're just so weird.
Sure.
You know.
Bayonetta.
Yeah. It's like the
Yeah,
art
with
style
lots
is
of
so
beautiful
odd.
imagery and things flashing all over the place. I think this is probably a pretty good game to play Wasted too, because there's a groove to it, you know.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I'm supposed to do this. What's my objective right now?
Faramir has a question about Recon.
Yes.
What is Recon going to be exactly? A behind-the-scenes thing of new games, old games, or both?
It is the game is just a tangent. What we're talking about with Recon is the personalities involved and the human factor in how these things come together. And so that can be larger teams, it could be medium-sized or small teams or single developers. We're also going to have topics, but it's going to be more about how the environments of these developers and the developers themselves, how they all kind of utilize the resources that are around them and the inspirations that they have and the people that they are to build the art that they do. So it's not necessarily about any kind of examination of said game, although those conversations come into play for sure. It's more about appreciating that creativity comes in many forms, and and it's cultivated by human beings, and that's what we're trying to talk about. So I think it's going to be very fun. I mean, I hate using this as an example because it's not fair, and it sounds so highfalutin and ridiculous. But I think the closest analogy is that's easy to understand right away that we're shooting for and we'll never get is like a Bourdain style show, where he would go to a country or a city and he would not just eat the food and talk about, oh, this is delicious and you should go and here are the ingredients, which is a show. That's a show. Yeah. But he would really, he would talk to people, and then there'd be lots of shots of the civilians that are part of the makeup of those menus, and that's kind of what I want to do with Recon as well. So with all love and respect and full humility that I will never be an Anthony Bourdain, but what an inspiring human being that guy was. Talk about inspiration. So there, that's the Recon idea. Okay, I'm back in New Tristram.
How's it feel on the Switch, Vic? This isn't your first time playing it on the
No,
Switch,
it
right?
feels great. It feels very fluid and it runs well. It gets manic and crazy. I mean, this is a game really engineered to play with your pals, right? So sometimes you get overwhelmed, but you feel very powerful, and you can, buy your way to more power with the in-game sort of economy, or you can. Oh, I can sell some stuff. I have some things that I think I can sell here. Let's do it.
Visually, does it look?
Looks great.
Does it look like it's taken a hit at all? It must have from the PC.
I
version
mean,
at least,
I
right?
think there's been updates and stuff, so it'll look better on modern PCs and Xbox and PlayStation 4. But it looks really solid. Runs 60 frames a second. It looks really solid in 1080p, and it looks solid on the portable screen. This is not as solid because it's going through the Mac and through the
the frame rate's a little lower than what it
through our
would normally be.
external card, and we're streaming it at 720p, so it's not the primo way to look at it, but yeah, it's a solid game for sure. it feels much more primo, because I've been playing Victor Vran a little bit, and it feels way more primo than that.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, so let's sell some stuff. I don't need this. Let's sell it. Boof. I don't need this. Boof.
Paul Adamson comment, with Recon, it'll be cool to hear stories about specific people and what they've brought to several games they've worked on.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the idea, right?
Yeah, and I want to talk about the histories of individuals and where they came from.
Look at Indie Game the movie. Like, that's a great documentary.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've already shot some things. I don't want to spoil stuff, but we shot some things that were like, oh my God, this is a really cool show, you know. And I did something very similar with the run up to shooting our first thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but in the first season of EP, because we'd never made the show before, I wanted to have, for my own, you know, peace of mind, I wanted to have a rundown of the whole season. So I wrote up 13 episodes of what EP could look like, even though we hadn't really shot many interviews and much of the content, and it was all going to be, you know, kind of reactionary to things going on in the industry. But I wanted in my own head to see what a potential 13-episode run of Electric Playground was going to be before I started, you know, working with people and sort of requesting of them specific things to create. And that was really good for me because I was a first-time producer. I'd never had a show on television, and that was a big deal. And so I did something similar with Recon. I didn't do a whole season's worth. Been thinking about the concepts for episodes, but I did a kind of a full episode of what it would be, and it's very different from EP. And part of that is absolutely my partnership with Russ and at The Escapist, who's got a very specific, great documentary kind of flair and style of his own. And also he hired the crew, and he's worked with them before, and they were fantastic to work with. And, you know, just into it, and also huge gamers, and all of it made a big difference. So I'm very excited, but it's kind of in their hands. My initial contributions are over for a bit, and Escapist has a lot of footage, and now they got to put it together, and then we got to start planning for where we shoot next.
Fairmer says, I look forward to taking this journey with you.
Cool.
Oh, no, that's one I just read. Oh, Nintendo Boy says, question, this is more focused on Blake and other people in the EP team.
Yes.
Can you name one of the worst times over editing of any EP-related vids?
Ooh.
I don't know. Do you want to start with that? I guess you have.
Like the
too,
worst
right?
time in editing something?
Yeah, I guess any technical thing, right? Like.
I mean, we've had machines completely just die, and we've got to ship a show, and we've been late a few times having to ship episodes because of hardware or software just freaking out on us.
Yeah.
And then we've had to do. We've pretty much made every air date, but we've had to call in favors.
Close calls.
Yeah, super close calls.
Those
are very frustrating.
When we first started EP Daily in 2008, we were using our edit share system, our central footage server.
Yeah, they actually put us on their website.
Yeah, because we were using that with Final Cut Server, which had just come out.
Yeah.
And those two things were not meant to work together.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of technical problems
Because the equivalent.
integrating the two of them.
Yeah, the equivalent package from something like Avid or something was like 3 times as much money, and we didn't have the budget to do that. So our genius supervising post-production head at Aaron Mooney figured out how to do this, and then they profiled us, and we became like a poster child for Edit Share on their website.
Yeah, I remember in 2008, those first couple of months, me and Aaron, Aaron running around trying to figure stuff out, and I'm just trying to help him out where I can, crawling through shit, pulling on cables, and just freaking out because we're afraid we're not going to make our deadline. We'd never done a daily show before, right?
And it was so different too. We had to create every asset, and we had people recording games and doing all of this stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah,
There was YouTube was coming.
HD had just started.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were no HD trailers on YouTube. YouTube wasn't HD yet. I remember that now.
And they also didn't have the assets that we would
so we
need
had to make all the HD assets ourselves.
Yeah.
We had
I wish I could do that.
Yeah. We had tapes being sent to us like crazy, and we were asking for HD tapes, and there was a lot of format confusion. I was trying to convince a lot of people in the games industry to go into XD Cam and start shooting on Blu-ray and recording footage on Blu-ray, and I was trying to talk with IGN actually to like get them to confirm that they were going to XD cams so that there would be some kind of a standard between those guys and us, so they make it easier on the industry. But yeah, it was like a bit of a format war, and it really has just, it started to, I think, because of YouTube and SD cards and great DSLR cameras, it's really started to like be mature and figured out, I feel, for the new way of creating media in the last few years.
Probably the worst crunch that I can recall was putting the final touches on Metal Gear Solid before making a documentary.
Yeah, that was...
We were literally sleeping at the office to get that thing out the door.
Well, and it was a huge amount of solidarity too, because it came down to like Aaron and Tavis. Tavis was our art director. And so like all of it was funneled to those two guys to finish everything, but none of us wanted to leave because it was not fair to them, you know?
Yeah. Well, we were all there helping them. Like, I was sending Aaron shots like,
right.
I need 5 seconds of B-roll for right here, and I would cut it, and then okay, it's right here.
Yeah.
And that was so
crazy.
Replacement narration.
And
then do you remember?
Yeah, because we recorded all of the English translation narration for all of the Japanese developers.
Oh God, yeah, and then we had to do Japanese subtitles, and that was because we don't write Japanese, so trying to like
we had
type
a
it and
full-time translator in the
but then trying
studio.
to format it properly, subtitles are always a nightmare.
Yeah.
And then we figured on our final like delivery day, we could send it to FedEx, or we'd have a few extra hours if we sent someone to physically deliver it on an airplane.
Yeah.
So that ended up being me.
Yeah.
So you guys put a tape in my hand, and then drove me to the airport, and then I sat on a plane down to LA for 3 hours, handed the tape to someone, and then flew back.
To Ryan Payton, the associate
and
producer on the game.
I handed in the tape in the airport at LAX, and he ran his plane to take his plane to Japan.
Yes, it was incredible, and part of it too was the time delay too, the time difference, because we would finish stuff, but they were working 12-hour shifts over there working on the game.
Because they're crunching to finish the game.
Yeah. But so it was crazy, and Ryan was the guy that never slept ever, because he was in North America but dealing with Japanese schedules, so he was always, and obviously there was Kojima Productions oversight on the video content that we're putting together. So incredible, and I'm so proud of that work too, because it ended up being really, really great, a really solid, look at a lot of aspects of game development, and honestly, one of the precursors to something like Recon in a way.
Speaking of Recon, Game Freak 84 says, maybe I missed it, but what's the premiere date of Recon?
We don't know yet. It's up to Escapist. I think please follow Escapist on Facebook and Twitter, and feel free to tell them how great the concept is for Recon, if you think it is, but also that you're very interested on finding out when it's going to be. And yeah, man, honestly, I know it's a bit weird that I'm working with a quote-unquote competitor, but that's also one of the most beautiful things about this. Just that kind of thing doesn't happen very often, and so I'm immensely flattered, because there is a lot of good pedigree at the Escapist, and Russ Pitts and the team he's assembling are very good creators, and have assembled, and they have a legacy of that too. And it can only help EP. It can only help, raise the profile of what I do and where I'm from and what we're doing now and where we've come and where we're going with you guys.
Tyler Fisher has a question. Will there be a Recon on the history of EP? Sounds like you guys could go on for hours.
We could. We really could. Stay tuned for that. There's something percolating about about our history. If it all comes together, will be incredibly significant and cool. And again, another massive, flattering thing that has come into my life recently. There's a lot going on, but know that all I'm trying to do is get to the point where I'm interviewing cool people and shooting these reviews and playing these games. So all I want to do is just do this. That's it, and the other stuff that I'm thinking of and working on and attempting to do is in the service of being able to do this.
Adrian Leon is asking, have you noticed the new look of the Xbox Live avatar?
Yeah, I did. I thought that was cool, but I was like, I can't spend an hour putting on new hair here. I gotta go to a game. I did.
It takes you an hour to do your hair in real life.
Totally. I did get a cool email though from Sony about my Spider-Man progress. It's in the game. It said I've played the game for 43 hours and I've saved the city. And here's your new avatar. You are an awesome. And I have, which is so cool. It was like, wow, that's some validation right there. So I have a new Spider-Man avatar that you'll see on my PlayStation account. But I got the DLC for Spider-Man. And I played a little bit of that while I was downloading and installing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, what's up with that? 2 discs and then you have to install? I've never seen that on PlayStation.
Oh, it was massive.
I was shocked when I bought my copy of Red Dead and I opened it up. I was like, oh, it's 2 discs.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Well, you know what's up with that is next gen is what's up with that. You know, you can absolutely tell that this game is coming to PlayStation 5.
It's smart of Rockstar to do that because they're doing that near the end of this lifespan. They did the same thing with GTA 5.
Yeah.
So they've had 7 years to figure out how to get the most out of this system.
Yes.
And then
They're ready
you get
for
the
the next
game.
one.
It comes out and makes $1 billion.
Yeah.
And then a year from now when the PS5 and the Xbox 2 comes out,
Yep.
you get to re-release like a remastered version and make a huge pile of money again.
I hope.
So it's a really smart strategy on their part to do it like that.
Totally. I hope people at home are preparing songs of my exploits here, and you will be going around with your mandolin and being a bard, singing of tales of how powerful Vic the Barbarian is.
Singing shanties about your exploits.
Yeah, I forget what my name is. My name is where's my dude?
Your name is Inventory.
Inventory. Where?
That's your name, Inventory.
Come on, character details. Where is he? Where's his name? Come on, they gotta
Bounty
put his
Cash
name.
Bags? Is your name Bounty Cash Bags?
It's community event buffs. Where's my name?
Norhig?
Yes. Where do you see it?
It's above where it says level 7 there on the
Yeah,
bottom.
Norhig. Okay, yeah, Norhig. I didn't call him Batwing. I just kept it with Norhig.
Comment from
This
Nintendo
is
Boy.
the tale of Norhig the Barbarian. Okay, yeah.
Nintendo Boy says, I've heard from my friend in the UK that Red Dead Redemption 2 is about an 8-hour install. It wasn't that long for me. I did the PS4, not the Pro, just the regular PS4. It took about 2 hours.
Yeah, I have fast internet at home. It was
yeah,
good.
and I installed it. I downloaded a version here.
Yeah.
On the PS4 Pro here, and it only took about an hour.
Yep.
That's because we have the fast internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I installed it off the disc onto the regular PS4, and it was about an hour per disc.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still not 4 hours, so it was 2 hours.
Yeah. I was downloading it to the PS4 Pro I have at home and installing the game off the discs on the Xbox One X, and the install on the Xbox One X only beat it by like 30 minutes off the disc, which was like, wow, man. It takes a long time to put this data on that machine.
Yeah. Maybe it takes longer if you have like more stuff on your hard drive.
Could be.
That might.
Oh yeah, clearly I had to do some software organization when I got everything.
Because if it's like, if it's the last, if you need 100 gigabytes and you only have 100 gigabytes free,
yeah,
it might take longer than if like you have 500 gigabytes free. Maybe.
Totally.
I don't know.
Is the fact that we're talking about Red Dead Redemption while I'm playing Diablo 3, is that
well, people keep bringing it up.
Is that a signifier here? Are we
Maybe, yeah.
Are we not as blown away by the fact that Diablo 3 is here?
I mean, this is exciting, but it's not as exciting as rummaging through
This
cabinets.
is Norhig the Barbarian.
Wouldn't you rather
He's
be
a champion
rummaging
of the people?
Wouldn't you rather be rummaging through cabinets right now, Vic?
In slow motion,
Yeah.
as if I was in Jello.
And then have to press the button and wait for it to go around the circle before
I
you
mean,
can actually
did
start
you find
the
that
rummaging?
where you're like, okay?
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
So my
So-
experience with Red Dead, I think I'm a few levels ahead of you.
Yeah.
I get into that first town that you get to,
Yeah.
and it's like right away it makes you watch a cutscene where you're sitting on a bench.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't want to sit on a bench right now, Rockstar. I want to explore this town. Like, why are you making me sit on a bench? It felt very like, okay, you have to slow down. Like the game was forcing me to take it slow, and I didn't want to.
But you know what? I think it's to teach the mechanics, and we know that part of this game's story is to get you to fall in love with the world. We're talking about Red Dead. so that you'll want to play Red Dead Online, because that's where the real revenue stream has been for Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
You know, so they do want to kind of police you to kind of experience every aspect of it, because they're going to double down on what you can do when you go into the online portion of it.
Fairmer's pointing out, no, the PS4 about Red Dead Redemption 2 copying. The PS4 Pro has slower copying capabilities, so that's probably why. Maybe on the Pro it takes 4 hours to have disc.
Yeah.
Game Freak 84 Vic, have you been clotheslined by a tree branch while on a horse in Red Dead Redemption 2?
No, not yet. A friend at, or a person that I met at EGLX, I think his name was Jermaine, said that I was supposed to go behind the horse and lift up a tail. And so I tried to do that. I didn't really lift up the tail, but as I went behind the horse, crap, I just took a whole bunch of little poo pellets.
I feel like the horses shit a lot in Red Dead Redemption.
Well, I think horses shit a lot. I think they eat a lot and they have to poop.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like, hello, you're in the Wild West. Poo on your feet. Poo on your boot, which is the song of my country album. It's the name of my new country song.
Your watch is talking to you?
Poo on my boot.
That's something you don't have to worry about in the Old West, is your watch
Yes.
will never, like, talk to you or demand your attention.
Right.
You know? You're not a slave to your watch.
That is fun. That does not get boring. Okay. I have new stuff. Let me put this on. New pants, guys.
Whoa.
Oh wait, no. New belt. Same as the old belt.
Is
Weapons.
it purple? No, it's blue.
Leather gloves of the hawk. Let's put that on.
So did you kill a hawk to make the
No.
leather? Of the...
I do love, though, in Diablo that you actually see the stuff. Like they didn't just change the thing. That's one of the things that drives me nuts in RPGs, is that you go to the effort of putting all the loot on, and your character model is exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, which
Almost.
I played.
A lot of the high-end ones.
I played RPGs this year. I think Dragon Quest XI doesn't change up the look of the character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's kind of lame. Like, I know Destiny does. Most of the AAA ones do.
Destiny is just lifted on this big time.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see, what's this? The reptilian hide belt of the bear. What does this one do? No,
that doesn't make any sense. Is it
Well, they're all-
reptilian bear?
They're all mixed up, man. That's fantasy. Hello,
Reptilian of the-
fantasy.
How's a bear a reptile? That makes no sense.
Everything's possible. Okay. Oh, I have skills that I haven't used. Okay.
Girls
Let's
only
see.
like guys with good skills.
Let's see. The hammer of the ancient. So I have cleave. I didn't like cleave that much, but I can add this. Rolling thunder. There it is. I don't know what that does, but it's in. Okay, what's this? Nothing else is unlocked.
Ground stomp.
Okay, I got. Oh wait, primary. What is this? Oh, cleave. Okay. No, I like that better. Okay, so do I control any of this?
See all
No,
this
I
stuff?
I don't have the
This is the
utility
stuff-
points yet.
This is the stuff I look at and I go, it's too complicated.
Well, you just read for a second.
Yeah, I don't want to read.
And then it becomes
I'm
part
playing a
of.
video game. I don't want to read.
But it becomes part of your escapism. It becomes part of your journey into this world.
Do you know what game doesn't require any of that?
Half-Life 2.
Half-Life 2.
Yeah, I know.
None of that.
Yeah.
The RPG is you getting better at the game.
Yeah.
You don't have to level up your gun at all.
Yeah.
You get better at using
There's
it.
only one Half-Life 2.
The RPG
there
is
are
you. You don't
tons
level
of
up. You don't
versions
level
of
up your
Diablo 3.
character. You don't level up your character. You level up your ability to play gets better.
True that.
So you're the RPG.
You get cooler stuff, though. That's the RPG element of it.
In what, Half-Life?
Yeah.
Well, you get new weapons,
Yeah,
but you don't level up the weapons.
Where
You
do you
just
think
get
they
better
learn
at
that?
using it.
They learn that from RPGs.
They learned it from Half-Life 1.
Oh, okay. Level 8. There we go. Ooh, I've learned leap. How do I leap? Y. Okay. Oh, I bet you it's in. Let's go.
Adrian
It's
Leon
probably-
is saying, in Marvel's Spider-Man, I've got to complete New Game Plus, even on Ultimate Difficulty, and the Heist DLC even earned all of the new trophies added in the DLC. Well, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Oh, skills on cooldown cannot be changed. Okay.
So Adrian Leon is basically bragging about how good at Spider-Man he is. So
That's all good.
no, I'm
happy for him.
I'm happy for him too.
Yeah.
I didn't get into Spider-Man. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
It felt like
That's
I was
just Star Trek and Half-Life 2.
I was like,
for you,
how many
man.
times do I need
don't
to
know
press?
what's going on.
How many times do I need to press square over and over? And over?
Wow. I mean, have you played video games? You press square a lot.
Yeah, but it felt like that's all I was doing.
Ah, okay.
So I got my patience got used to
Okay.
it.
We're gonna have to start making lists of things you're into. Okay.
Half-Life 2.
Because the list of things you're
Star
not
Trek.
into, long. We could make a new segment.
If Spider-Man were
new
on the
segment in
Switch.
2019. Blake hates.
If Spider-Man were on the Switch,
I
and I
hate
could play
this
it in bed.
cuz.
I was like, okay, I'm done.
I hate this. You know that square button? Hate it.
I hate pressing square button just to do everything.
Hey everybody, welcome to Blake Hates. I hate square buttons.
Welcome to What Blake Hates Today. So here's why I hate Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm tired of looking through cabinets.
I don't want to look through cabinets in
I don't
slow
want to look
motion.
through cabinets anymore.
Ain't nobody got time for looking through cabinets in slow motion. What am I, in a jello field?
Why do I have to ride this horse everywhere? Why can't I have a car?
What's up with these big,
me a jetpack.
giant things that just have squishy snakes pop out?
Why did all these
I hate
characters?
those guys.
Why are all these guys look exactly
Hate
the
that.
same? Why can't they? Why do those three guys look identical?
Because there's a
Can't
billion
they shake up the
characters in this
character
game.
models a bit? Come on now.
No, come on, they're coming at.
Lazy dude.
They are fodder, and that's what they're engineered to be. You're supposed to feel. I feel like I want a more powerful. I just want to just crush them, and I can't do it. Okay. Where's my leap? I'm gonna try leap. Let's change that.
Dreamcast guy says, "Yeah, big fan of Victor Lucas. He rocks."
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for watching,
Thank you,
Dreamcast guy.
Oh, Dreamcast guy. I met you at EGLX. You were fantastic. Out of Texas, I believe. Let us know. That's so cool. Hope you got home okay, and hope you had a great trip to EGLX. I know that if this is the Dreamcast guy, I know that you're friends with Johnny and JKB. I saw him out there. That was great. I was on
Texas. He says, "Yep, Texas."
Awesome. I was on HUD as well. Marissa's show on. I shot Friday, and then I think it aired yesterday. That was super cool. That team is great. That was a beautiful set. I was a teeny bit jealous, but I'm very happy for all those guys.
Emilio Lopez. So what does Blake like?
That's right. That'll be another segment we introduce in
That'd
2019.
be way too short.
This ice cream, very good. Liking this ice cream.
Well, here's the
this
thing,
latte
Beck.
I'm having right now.
I really get
I
annoyed
like
in
it.
ice cream when it has.
You know how ice cream they has
I hate it when the
cones? Hate cones.
I've noticed a lot of Ben and Jerry's have been doing this lately. Like when the chocolate or the cookie dough or whatever they put in it is really really hard.
Yeah.
Because then it's like the ice cream is soft and then you hit a hard.
Honestly,
thing. That's not good.
I think we have to do this in 2019. I think we turn you into our Andy Rooney. I honestly believe
I just
we
sit
need.
and complain about stuff.
Yep. I think we just have to write it up and just have a moment. You guys ever notice? I think that would be fucking great. Please do that. I hate that. You guys ever notice when you're sitting on a bus and the person next to you just has to chew really loudly in your ear? I hate that. So we'll
Oh,
just
you've seen me complain about people at movie theaters.
Oh
right?
yeah, totally. Oh, I think we
That irritates me so much.
rather than just like bottling it up and then we just hear it in little bits and pieces. Like, oh, I hate that. Let's make a show out of it. I think that would be great.
I actually really hate. I saw Halloween this weekend.
Oh, and you hated that?
No, I like that. It was okay.
Okay.
But there's some things I hated in it, but it was okay.
Music, rad.
The music's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I hate how how in movies theaters they all have assigned seats now.
Yeah.
The thing I hate about that is that if somebody obnoxious sits next to me, I can't get up and move.
I think it's the thing I hate about that with Blake Siefkin.
Yes, the thing I hate about that.
What do you guys think? Do you guys want that
Because
segment?
before I would always get if some obnoxious loud person sits next to me, I would just get up and move.
Yeah.
And I would be really like vocal about it. I'd be like so they know why I'm moving. 'Cause,
Yeah.
they're jerks. But now I can't move because that might be someone else's seat.
Right. Oh yeah.
So that's really because I was
Oh,
trapped.
because of reserve seating.
Yeah,
yes.
because when I saw Halloween, a really obnoxious lady sat down next to me. I was trapped.
Oh,
couldn't
I
go
think
anywhere.
if there's nobody there, I have.
Yeah,
a
what I
good
did was I
weapon.
I waited till the movie started and then I moved to an empty seat.
Okay.
But the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm uncomfortable, like if someone's gonna come in 10 minutes late.
New pants! It's happening. All right. Here we go.
Oh, we got a super chat from Blade Blur.
Oh, thank you, Blade Blur.
Happy Halloween to my EP peeps. Thank
Oh,
you.
yes.
Halloween's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. I should dress up. My kid is just like, Dad, are you ever gonna care about Halloween? And I feel a sense of responsibility that I should care more right now, but I've been busy. But I don't know what to be. I mean, like, I have that Mario outfit. Should I be Mario? You guys want to watch me be Mario on EP tomorrow?
Yeah, might as well.
Maybe it won't be me. Maybe Mario will actually be here. Maybe it will be the real Mario, right? Maybe we'll just do a switcheroo on the host.
Nice.
What do you think?
The real Mario.
The real Mario will be here, yeah.
I met Luigi once.
Yeah.
He's kind of a dick.
Was he?
He's a bit full of himself. And I'm like, dude, you're Luigi. Come on now.
Did he give you the death stare?
Yes, he did.
So I have a javelin and a scythe. I'm badass.
Dreamcast guy concurs that he would love a show where I review stuff I hate.
I think I've been pretty good, right? Dreamcast guy, we often do production meetings live like this as part of the content.
That's every YouTube channel now. It's just people complaining about shit on the internet.
True.
You know?
Right.
The thing I hate about the internet
and
is
you,
that...
yeah, the thing I hate about people on the internet are
like that's literally
the people that hate
it's like you were
everything.
saying earlier today in your Mr. Rogers documentary review.
Yeah.
Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Yeah.
We're filled with so much negativity.
Yes.
Right? Like everyone just hates on everything. Why not a show where we talk about the things we like?
Yes.
You know.
Well, I can't believe this is coming from you.
Well,
That's amazing.
I complain about the things I don't, but there's a lot of things I do like.
Yes, I know.
I can't think of anything right now.
I know.
'Cause there's not very many, but
Right. Yeah. But I think that will be fascinating to examine that. You know.
yeah,
Not,
I mean,
not just feed it.
like
but,
I just hate all the negativity.
I
on the
mean, Andy
internet.
Rooney was everybody know who Andy Rooney was?
Yeah.
He had a long career on, and
Is he
pissed
dead
a lot of
now,
people.
or
Yeah, he
still
passed away. He basically retired and then died a year later because he was living to do that cool gig on 60 Minutes. It felt like, and he was.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He was amazing.
Yeah, he died right after he.
But he made you think, and he had good reasons for not liking things, but he made you think about all that stuff. Okay, so what can I buy? Can I?
Yeah, I remember him
I-
at the end of 60 Minutes. He would.
Yeah.
Be,
Yeah, an
nagging about stuff.
important character. Okay, so short bow. I can't use any bow weapons. Oh, I chose poorly.
Why is your dude different? Who's Reddick the Fence?
He's the guy I'm buying
Radek.
from. These are the things that he has, and I'm comparing it to what I've got equipped. I have way better pants. I have excellent leather pants. They're level 19 leather pants.
H Mansion 999
Yeah.
wants to
Ooh,
know.
there's a little-
Says tuned in a little late. How does Diablo 3 on Switch compare to the PC console versions? You just
It's
addressed this earlier, but what's your latest?
It's great. Yeah, it's super fun and super fluid.
But
and
compared to the consoles, is it better or worse?
No, it's gonna. I mean, if you want the fidelity of, the highest supremo fidelity, this is not the machine to get. But you can carry this anywhere you want to go. And I
Yeah,
was
you can
playing
play this on an airplane.
I was playing it on an airplane. It was amazing. Yeah, I love it. It's really rad, and it has all the multiplayer and all the DLC, and I'm digging this a lot. Okay, what is? Oh, do I come to you? Okay.
Dreamcast guy is saying
Okay.
people watch videos longer if they're mean.
Oh, your apprentice is dead.
For sure, seen that. If I talk about loving a game for 3 minutes, they click out. But if they watch an hour of this sucks, rah rah, lol. Yeah, I mean that's so sad, but it's true.
Right.
Not much to tell. We heard
I don't know. I mean,
the skeleton.
I've made a few videos on YouTube of like sort of trolly things where I'm complaining about stuff, but
How fun was that? I just can't imagine that it's like enjoyable internally to just come out and just be ranting like that. You know, like I don't know. I mean, I think it's important to criticize and to critique, but I don't know. I think it'll be a fun segment. I think we should examine that for sure.
the thing I hate about that.
But the thing I hate about that idea, Vic, about the thing I hate.
The thing I hate about this idea, Vic, is that there's too much negativity.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of all the negativity in the world.
I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Is there a? No, that's my options. Is there something on a map or something like that? Like, what am I supposed to do right now? Skills, party, Paragon, inventory, quests. There we go.
How long did you want to play this for?
Objective. I know it's getting.
You've been playing for like an hour.
I know.
Or no, not quite an hour. But don't you have like a thing that tells you, yeah, quest does not show up on your map?
No, not right now. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Find the cemetery of the Forsaken in the Weeping Hollow.
Northwest of New Tristan. So wouldn't that be that way?
That's where I was. Wasn't I?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's over this way. Okay, let's go check it out. Let's go see. Not chatting with you guys.
Like, I'm assuming the top of the map is north, right?
Ain't got no time to chat with you. That's the
nobody got
Works
time
Passage.
for that?
Nope. Here we go. Let's go.
Oh, Jordan Cunningham is asking, what do you think of the 3 Resident Evil games coming to the Switch? Capcom just announced it the other day. We didn't have it in the rundown, but...
tell me what they are.
It's 4 is coming to the Switch, as well as the remastered version of 1 and, I think, 0?
Cool.
Resident Evil 0.
I'm down to play all of those again.
Yeah.
And then and Resident Evil 2 remaster next year.
I've been wanting to replay Resident Evil 4.
Oh, it's so good.
The last time I played it was on the Wii, the original
I played
Wii
the
in like
PC
2007.
game, and I think I reviewed it with Sky. I played it not that long ago, and it was still fantastic.
Yeah, that's the type of game that really holds up.
I love the Switch for its. This shop is overwhelming. There's so many games in there, but I just love that it's become this receptacle of like many eras of games. You know, like look what I'm playing right now on a machine that is quite powerful, but also quite portable. It's awesome. It's a really, really smart idea. I'm so glad Nintendo put this together.
Adrian, Leah, and Dick, are you gonna do a Let's Play of Red Dead Redemption 2?
Like just chat with it, or
yeah, like we were playing it right now.
I think I should. Yeah.
One, you know what? You should get a little bit more into the game.
Yeah.
Past all the slow tutorial type stuff, and then you can just roam the map and do stuff.
I might just do a stream right from the console as well.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
We did one already with Johnny and Bear last week.
And that way I could...
First 45 minutes of it.
Because I feel like with Red Dead, it just takes so long to sort of get into stuff that I feel like I should just play it for a couple hours and stream with people.
Ballsy on Rockstar's part to do that.
Well, they knew that they created the world. I mean, it was like Zelda was that. If Nintendo had a stream off the machine thing with Zelda, like people had to have PCs and all their stuff rigged out. Yeah,
but Breath of the Wild had like sections that are really obvious. Like, if you were a streamer, you could just go straight to the shrines.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas like Red Dead feels like it was made to be the antithesis of, because a lot of games are made to look good for streaming nowadays, right?
Right.
Because they know that everyone's going to stream it, and but Red Dead Redemption feels like it's the opposite of that.
Right.
Like it's not conducive to streaming at all because it's, at least at the beginning, because it's so slow paced.
I found the cemetery. Cool. Got a book.
In the eastern kingdom of Kyrgyzstan, I heard rumors of Zakharum warriors called Crusaders. While the natives were most reticent, I was able to
Emilio
deduce that
Lopez
this
is saying,
order
because
was
you're always
founded
positive, I'm
200
negative, so
years
we're
ago,
there,
just
we
as
bring
Ragnar
balance to
took
the
his
force.
army on Paladin's west. But these Crusaders went east on a very
What does that even
different
mean, bring balance to the force? Like, that's a thing from the prequels that's never explained, like, what that means. It's a prequel thing, so it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Right.
I was thinking about Boba Fett today, because I'm wearing a Boba Fett shirt. It's a good one. I think I bought this
Might not show up on
at Lucasfilm. It's kind of like a retro thing. But thinking about Boba Fett and how sad it is that they couldn't figure it out how to bring him back, because that was a character that just had a pitiful death.
I think the Mandalorian is going to be Boba Fett. I think that's going to be a big secret halfway through the show.
That it will be Boba
like
Fett?
Halfway through the first season, you'll realize it's actually Boba Fett.
I hope so. I mean, I hope that's what it is, because Kathleen... Yeah, I guess that's probably what it is. I think you're very astute with that, because Kathleen Kennedy was like, no, Boba Fett's done. But they're probably playing the game on us right here, aren't they?
Yeah, well, because in the
he's got
expanded universe, he didn't die in the Sarlacc.
Right.
So I mean, they could just as easily do that.
But this takes in between. Is it before? Is it?
I think it's
between?
after Return of the Jedi
Okay,
and
it's
before.
after.
I could be wrong, but I think it's between Jedi and Force Awakens.
Here's the cemetery.
It's between the real Star Wars movies and the fake ones.
Okay.
That's probably why they're not
But
going to.
I was thinking about our good old friend Boba Fett, and just like, if he doesn't come back, what a drag. He was so seminal, so cool.
Well, I mean, making things that are a drag is kind of what Disney has been doing with Star Wars since they got it back. Is making things that aren't satisfying.
No, I mean, Jedi I think was the most polarizing, but the other movies have been pretty solid. I love Force Awakens, and I love Rogue One. I know you. The thing I hate about Rogue One is,
Honestly, like, I don't care about Star Wars anymore, so
I think there's a lot of people that share. that
I've
right now.
stopped getting mad about Star Wars.
Yep.
Because I don't care anymore.
Yep. There was a rumor floating around today that there might be another Death Star in episode 9.
Of course there will be.
Could
Star
you-
Wars is done. Let's
Could you
just
imagine
forget
that?
about it.
Oh my God. Hey, we built this Death
How much-
Star.
here's-
We
here's a
got this.
question.
We got it this time.
Here's a question.
We got it, guys.
We know Luke's not really dead, or he's gonna
Yeah.
be a ghost or whatever.
Yeah.
How much of Last Jedi do you think they're gonna retcon?
I don't know, man.
Because we know they're gonna retcon some of it.
I don't know.
There's some of it is gonna be retconned.
Well, I would
How much, though?
assume that we're gonna discover that Obi-Wan is Rey's dad.
Yeah, that's something I don't know if Obi-Wan's gonna be her dad, but I'm pretty sure that her parents being no one is gonna be retconned.
Right.
Or they're not retcon, but they'll say he was lying when he said that.
Right.
Right. I'm pretty sure they're gonna retcon that.
Actually, he wouldn't be the dad. He would be the
Whatever.
grandfather.
I don't know if it's gonna be Obi-Wan, but they're definitely gonna. I'm
Or
positive
he was
that's
the
something
uncle
they're
or
gonna do.
something.
Like, I'd be willing to bet they say that her parents are really something. Who, but not just. But like, and we know Luke's gonna be back, whether he's a ghost or something else. We don't know.
Yeah. Maybe a force power will be, look, you can come back to life.
Question from Jordan Cunningham.
Yeah.
Hey Vic, what do you think of BioWare saying that they're focusing more on gameplay than story with their new game Anthem?
I think they have to. I think that's an action game, and
You
they
can't make a big online Destiny thing with.
yeah, that's gotta feel perfect. That game. There's so much pressure on that game. I hope it's awesome. Looked really cool. I played it at E3 and had a fun time with it. It was definitely one of those games where I felt like I was Iron Man, but I'm not Iron Man. You know, and I always say that. It's just like I would really like to play as an awesome Iron Man now. I've had 20 movies of how cool Iron Man is in the Marvel Universe. I would just like one, like, perfect Iron Man video game.
Comment from Fairmer. It says that Metal Gear Solid segment you did with Happy Comic Gamer was really good. I never played it, but I know the impact the game had.
Oh, thank you, Fairman. Yeah, I love doing that. Johnny did a great job putting all that together.
And Fairmer is saying that, because I said earlier that the prequels never explained what bring balance to the Force means.
Yeah.
Fairmer is saying, comment, the balance, it was explained, it means there will always be the same amount of evil and good and blah, blah. They should have said that in the movie. I know that was explained in, like, novels and comics and TV shows. They should have explained it in the movie.
I hate when they
The
don't
movie never, if you just
explain
watch
things in the
if you
movie.
just, well, what is the movies for then?
Yeah.
If you just watch the 3 prequels, you have no idea what that means. You have no idea what bring balance to the Force means, or what the chosen one is, or what the prophecy is.
Isn't Balance of the Force the
But they never explain that.
video that plays at Disneyland?
Those
Double
prequels
damage.
are awful. Prequels
Yeah,
are
no,
awful.
they're stylishly very-
Stylistically designed to do that. Yeah.
well, stylish and devoid of kind of an emotional hook, I feel. Vengeful massacre, 20 killed.
Vic, have you watched the new season of Arrow yet?
No, is that Tyler asking me?
Tyler's asking.
No, I have not. I watched Daredevil. You guys watched my review of Daredevil? See that. But I have not watched Arrow yet. I know I'm behind.
Comment from Jordan Cunningham.
I've totally, like, this game has got its hooks in me. I don't want to stop playing. So you're watching it in real time. Diablo addiction occurring right now.
The Switch seems like such a brilliant platform for it.
It's perfect.
Because
Yeah.
you take it anywhere. You don't have to stop playing.
Yep.
Take it with you when you go to work or wherever.
Yeah, it's
Take
really
it with you
cool.
into bed.
Okay, I'm gonna go get this last thing here, and then whatever happens after that.
Call it
it's-
a night.
Yeah, it's
Call
gonna
it
be
a
the
day.
Yeah. And then it's back to the Wild West. Actually, and back to Paw Patrol with my daughter. We're playing the Paw Patrol video game as well.
Oh, I had to quit Paw Patrol when I started this up before the stream.
Oh, did you?
Because it was still open on YouTube.
Oh, that's okay. It's all right.
I hope you didn't lose all your save data.
No, we're okay.
Valuable progress in Paw Patrol. We should be playing that right now, Vic. We should stream that.
That'd be for a different channel, I think.
Still recharging.
When it'd be for a channel where millions of people would be watching it, probably. We're gonna look at all the Paw Patrol games on EP Kids.
Jordan Cunningham saying, I hope Anthem doesn't devolve into just another Destiny clone.
Oh, it won't. They're smarter than that. Give those guys credit.
They're smarter than the people that made Destiny.
Yeah. Well, they're smarter than just making a copycat. I know you. The thing I hate about
The
Destiny.
thing I hate about Destiny.
We have seasons of that segment. Don't you worry. We'll have a daily.
Don't prime my pump about Destiny, because I'll start going.
We have the daily. The thing I hate about that segment. We get that for years.
You don't want to
We're
get me
good.
started about Destiny.
We're good. Dunhin sarcophagus. Event complete. Yes. Wow.
So does that mean back to Red Dead?
Look
Look at all that loot.
Look at that stuff.
You got the purple stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what I can do with any of that. I don't think I can use any of it.
Did you get an exotic too, or is that
Let's see.
gold?
I don't know. Let's check it out. This is why you play Diablo. Let's see. I've got a really good helmet. I've got a decent. Oh, I've got this. A cudgel of wounding.
Vaz Vegas, we were talking about doing this in multiplayer, but I didn't have my Switch with me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll bring it in and we'll stream it in multiplayer some other time.
That'd be great. So I have this one, and I want to change this guy to my Reckless 6. And what is this? Oh, they're all 15. My belts. Ooh, I've got leather pants of the bear.
Nice.
Or adventuring leather pants of the lion. I think that's what we're gonna do.
Do it.
Okay. So new pants, guys. It's a good
Very
day.
stylish. Can you rotate your character within the?
Yep.
Nice.
Look at that. Do I have new gloves? Inundating leather gloves of thorns. Okay, I'm good. All right. That's good. That's going to do it for the Let's Play and Chat for this day. Diablo 3, tons of fun. We're going to come back. It's okay. I'll figure that out. We're going to come back tomorrow with, I think we're going to do EP Live, but I not fully confirmed yet, but please keep us on our radar.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Something might come up, but I think we're back with EP Live. We will definitely have an EP Live on Friday because that's the day that we are going to announce the winners of our Ant-Man and the Wasp contest, which you can enter on our Facebook page. Canadians only. But that does it for the show today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will continue to play a little Diablo 3 in between play sessions with Red Dead and a little Spider-Man, because I've got the DLC. But more coming on this game and several others, and lots of other cool content coming to you very soon. So please keep watching. If you dig our stuff, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit that bell. If you want to join and become an EPN member, you can do that on the... I think still only on the gaming.youtube.com/EPNTV. I don't think they have that on the regular page yet. But you can join there, which is great. Thank you to all those that do. We have merch, like this incredible coffee from 8-Bit Beans, that you can find by going to our merch landing page on our website. That's epn.tv/merch. And thank you for purchasing that stuff. And remember, if you do buy a hoodie or the coffee or a mug or a t-shirt, whatever, take a picture of it and send it to us. Either through Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and we'll work you into the show. And it is an incredible honor that you wear our logo and tell people that you're a fan of EPN out there. Very sweet of you. Thank you, everyone. We will see you tomorrow. Play forever.